Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I don't know about this episode. This episode felt like it was like literally a filler, and I mean, I guess it was somewhat nice. It wasn't terrible, but it just literally felt like a filler. It's almost like they couldn't do the nurse's ball, so this was Plan B. You had a bunch of people that was singing. You had um, Epiphany that was singing after, she wanted to sit there and study, and Marshall was like, no, we got to go out tonight. And of course, she sung and, she tore it up. She was a rock star. Um, Chase wasn't even sure about going up at first. And here's the thing, I give him a lot of props because it is very difficult to put yourself out there in front of live people. And not even people that you're like on the computer, or, you're like 20 something people watching your video. It's not the same thing as them being there in person. So it was kind of a rocky start, but, he did manage to, I guess, get into the groove. But I think what he wound up doing was the same trick that he taught Leo. Focused on one person that you're singing to. And he tore it up. Hell, even Michael had to give him props, and apparently it made, Link took the bait. So I guess his whole pride of, being punched in the face is, when it comes to his money, it's like, I can just kind of let that slide. So whatever. Um, and you know, it's kind of sad that he's playing this that this actor in a lot of ways is playing this sleazy record producer, because I swear if you look up the definition of sleazy scumbag, this guy's face, his hair, everything, his clothes, it's all there. It's just all there. You will literally see his picture in the dictionary. Um, Brooklyn knows that, Willow's pregnant. Michael is back. In the beginning, I was going to sit there and write like the OG Michael is back, but technically he's not the OG. Like, the first OG really is, the little redhead kid. That is the OG Michael, but I am glad that Chad is back. I just, like I said, it's nothing personal against the other guy. He filled in the role. He did the best he could, but when you've been watching the show for a while, you can tell certain actors will make a scene pop. It will hit a lot differently. And Chad's been playing Michael for quite a while, so it's second nature to him. It's second nature to a lot of people who are watching him go, watching him work. I feel like I'm projecting my voice a little bit louder than normal because I got the AC on in the back, and well, it's hot. Okay, it is New York hot weather today. Normally I don't have on the AC, but like I I literally had to sit there and take another shower before I started doing this review. And also, apologies, the review came out a little bit later today. Want to get my haircut because I was like, you know what? Listen, I got back around 1 something, and I was like, listen, I could sit there and do the review and just kind of do it tomorrow. But I was like, you know what? Let's just do it now. Let's just get the haircut now, because it's one of those things. If I start to put off stuff, it just so yeah. At this point, I really want to know what's going on with Spinelli, because this character is just all over the map at this point. He's still being super protective of Maxie. You know, he's sitting there talking about Star Trek with Austin. After Austin literally said, or maybe before the end, he was like, "Yeah, I don't really watch TV." You know, um, I don't get what his angle was. I don't. I'm not really understanding. I'm actually gonna forget his name. Good as he was actually just forgot his name. I'm still just wondering what is going on with Spinelli. Now, of course, you know, Austin, you know, while he's there, he gets a text. Or he's at the haunted star, he gets a text. Some shady looking dude that he met outside. He was all like, "Oh, well, you know, I told you not to sit there and really meet me in public, and yada, yada, yada." And I'm just like, what is going on? This, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm interested in this. What's going on? Not with the whole fake nurses ball thing. What's going on with this story? Um, Willa didn't really do too much today, and neither did Michael. So, you know, while it was actually great to sit there and see, I'm gonna sit there and say it, the real Michael today, um, he was really not needed. Um, Willow is still lying to him because I don't even know why at this point. I really don't understand why she's lying, but I also feel like a broken record, so let's just kind of move on. When Finn and Chase were at the gym, you know, one of the things that Finn was saying was that, you know, Liz wanted him back in his life, you know, back in her life, and, you know, he was really happy and ecstatic, but he felt like there was something off. You know, like they were just moving too fast, just like this overnight, you know, out of nowhere. One minute she wants to sit there and push him away. Next minute she's all like, "Oh, I want you back in my life," and he's just like, it just feels something that's off about the whole thing. Now, I feel like they're probably going to get back to their relationship in maybe another 3 weeks, give or take. I mean, they cramped in a lot of people today. I almost actually forgot Sonny was there. Sonny was there talking to Brando about Sasha, giving him advice. Pretty much the same thing he's been doing throughout most of the times that Sasha has actually been going through this whole drug thing. The only thing that we get out the scene is that, you know, Brando, um, they were sitting there talking about the person who sold, um, you know, who gave her the pills. And Brando he wanted to go there too to sit there and, you know, get revenge or whatever. But he was like, "No, listen, I'm going to let you take care of it." Which is, you know, something that Sonny will be more than happy to do since he doesn't allow drugs in his territory. So, right off the bat, that's already just a no-no. It's kind of odd that actually slipped through the cracks in him, but I mean, this guy, you know, I mean, granted, yeah, so to Sasha and everything like that, but and then you had the oh, never mind. Point is, it's just kind of odd that it actually slipped through Sonny's fingers, but then again, there's no Jason, so you got that going on. But talking to Dax, and you know, Dax, I guess, you know, tracked the person down. So we're gonna probably have an interesting scene at some point with Sonny Smith there and interrogating said drug dealer. I don't know why, but just Smith talking about Sonny like interrogating somebody just gives me flashbacks of 2004, 2005, or whatever, when you know you had, I think his name was Billy Warlock or whatever. AJ being, you know, in the meat locker. Sonny was just, you know, torturing him and beating him up and everything like that. And it's, I guess that's as much mob as they're going to sit there and do for a soap opera when you really think about it. Now, Nina's in there with Sasha, and Sasha's sitting there talking about how she doesn't want to go to rehab. So she found an alternative. You know, she's going to do an outpatient program. Now, I personally think she should sit there and do the actual rehab, but at the end of the day, you know, no matter what treatment she does, it's only going to work if she wants it to work. So if she feels like that's the best option, it's not like they can sit there and be like, "No, you're going to sit there and do this, and we're going to do this against your will." So, I mean, at least she has some sort of tackle on it for now, which is odd because And I said that last time when she was on like pills and stuff like that, that a whole heart attack and everything. And I knew she was going to be going through some stuff, obviously. I thought it was going to be more of a like breakup of their marriage, if anything else. But I didn't think we was actually going to be revisiting the storyline again. And in some ways, it works. It works because, you know, once an addict, always an addict. Um, but in other ways, it's kind of just like we're just kind of taking a step back. So it's a give and take kind of thing. But yeah, that was pretty much about it. With everything going on, with like felt like damn near half the cast was at the Haunted Star, I almost forgot about Britt and Cody's awful, awful date. I mean, she comes to his place and she's like, "Yeah, I'm here." And you know, Cody's like, "Yeah, you're kind of early. I kind of thought I was gonna have more time to kind of get ready, but she's like, yeah, well, you know, I just want to sit there and get this over with." I'm sorry, what? You just want to get this over with? Listen, I don't give a damn how hot you are. The minute you sit there and say something along the lines of you want to get this over with, I'm just like, you know what? My bed in Disney Plus is really looking good right about now. So why am I dealing with you for? But and I sat there throughout the whole time. At first, he wanted, you know, I heard her sit there and play with the horse and stuff like that. And then he says a line like, you know, listen, if you're not willing to try new things and experience different things, you must be dead. So she tried it. You know, she tried to be near the horse, but apparently he wasn't getting good vibes from the horse. So then she got upset with Cody for making her do it. And like the whole time, it's like she is super defensive. And granted, I get it. You know, she hasn't been on a date in a while, so it's like small talk and things of that nature. It's just kind of not really there for her. And granted, you know, Cody wasn't exactly making it easy either. He calls us Spinelli to sit there and try to get her common interest and things of that nature. But, you know, at the end of the conversation, he was like, you know, listen, I'm just going to wing it. And what he does is he tries to get, like, I don't know exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to, like, I don't want to sit there and say be the perfect date, but you know, he's trying to do things that he thinks that she's gonna like. Oh well, you know, I want to sit there and settle down and have some kids, and she's like, all right, well, that's my cue. I'm just gonna be out, and then she starts being all defensive and kind of acting bitchy. She's all like, oh well, you know, you're really boring, and I thought you was gonna have these great stories, and he's like, oh, well, I have a bunch of stories and things of that nature. And then he's like, oh, well, I really don't want to have kids. And at that point, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I mean, and I don't want to sit there and put all the smoke on Britt. Because instead of Cody actually opening up and be like, hey, you know, this is my childhood, this is some stories or whatever, you know, he's traveled a lot, he's been to a lot of different places or whatever. I'm pretty sure he has some interesting stories. He could have told some of them and just been who he was, but instead he wants to sit there and try to be who he thought Britt wanted to be with. So the whole thing goes nowhere. It's just a complete utter dumpster fire, and just like damn, dating sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can be great, but it also can suck. Trust me, I've been on both ends of those of those experiences, and I can personally testify that can suck at times. I think that's pretty much about it. This Here's the thing: this episode wasn't a bad episode. It was a fun little side trip. You know, you had a bunch of singing and performances and things of that nature. So, I mean, if you're into that stuff, great. You know, Chase killed it. Epiphany killed it like always. But besides that, it just seemed like because when I saw the previews, I'm like, okay, this is the episode that I really want to sit there and see, not whatever this little side quest was. And that's what it felt like. It felt like one giant side quest. Okay. I mean, the only thing that was sort of relevant was like the whole Britt and Cody stuff, and you know, the Sasha stuff, and you know, Brandon and stuff like that. But all this other stuff was like kind of sidebar stuff. That was like, yeah, it was okay to watch, but I didn't really need it. You know, I could have, a lot of ways, watched this episode last if that was the case. I mean, just one giant filler episode. And it's sad because it's like, I know I'm about to sit there and watch Days next, and already I can tell that's going to be for the win, but anyway, with that being said, I feel like that's pretty much about it anyway. I'm not used to not having facial hair part. It feels really strange. Maybe I should have kind of left some facial hair. It just, or maybe just I need to get used to it. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next video.